Welcome back to Polite English for Misunderstandings. Joined today by Emily. If this helps you, hit subscribe so you don't miss new episodes.
Hi, everyone. And the voice you just heard is Zach. At a busy cafe, I ordered fast. The barista misheard me, and I got salt on my oatmeal instead of sugar.
That tiny switch hurts. Noise and speed cause mix-ups. In meetings, I pause and say, "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that?"
I did that with a delivery driver. Just to confirm, it's apartment 12B, right? Confirmation is a final check, and it saved him a wrong door.
Another trap is assumptions. I assumed end of day meant my time zone. Assumption is believing without checking. I should have asked, "You mean 5 p.m. London time?"
Accents and idioms confuse people. A colleague said, "Let's table this," and I thought we needed a table. I paraphrased, "So handle it tomorrow?" Paraphrase means say it in your own words.
Do you notice how tone changes everything? Tone is how your voice sounds. Friendly, sharp, soft. With a warm voice, even, "Could you repeat that?" feels respectful.
When I need to interrupt, I soften it. "Sorry to jump in," or "Quick question." Interrupt means speak before someone finishes, but softening keeps it friendly.
A text at work missed commas and changed meaning. I replied, "Just to clarify, you want the slides before noon, right?" Clarify means make something clear, and my manager thanked me.
What phrase helped you most this week, Zach?
In other words, you're asking for the budget draft? That line saved a call. It's simple, paraphrasing with kindness.
Quick recap. Misunderstandings come from noise, speed, accents, idioms, assumptions, tone, and punctuation. Small moves, repeat, confirm, clarify, paraphrase, turn stress into calm.
If this is useful on your commute or lunch break, tap subscribe and share it with a friend who mixes up similar phrases.
Speaking of that, next we'll dive into easy ways to ask for repetition without sounding rude. Stay with us.
Building on that, I've been thinking about how we ask for repetition politely. On a train last week, the signal was awful, and I said, "Sorry, could you say that again? I didn't catch the last part." The call relaxed instantly.
That reminds me of a drive-through moment. Masks, engines, rain, noisy. I leaned closer and said, "Would you mind repeating that, please?" The phrase mind means be bothered. The cashier smiled and spoke slower, and I finally heard the total.
Do you change your pronunciation when you ask, Emily? I notice a warm tone makes even a simple question sound respectful, especially when the line is glitchy.
I do. I slow my pace. Pace means speed, and soften my voice. I'll say, "Sorry, could you say that again?" with a gentle rise at the end. That little rise signals a question without pressure, Zach.
On an IT support call, I tried two versions. First, I blurted, "Again?" and it sounded a bit sharp. Then I said, "Once more, please, the number after 6?" Politeness came from adding please and context, not just the words.
Context helps so much. In a team meeting, I used, "Could you speak a bit slower on the dates?" Then I mirrored the last word, the dates. Mirroring, repeating the key word, guides the other person to the exact part you missed.
What's your favorite gentle opener, Emily? I like, "Sorry, the connection dropped for a second." It explains the problem so people don't feel blamed.
Same here. I'll say, "Sorry, the line cut out there. Could you say that again?" Cut out is a great phrasal verb for when audio stops briefly. It keeps the mood friendly and practical.
In person, body language helps too. I tilt my head slightly and hold up a small one-moment hand. Then, "Sorry, I missed that." The gesture shows goodwill, even before the words land.
I coached an intern who was shy. In a client call, she whispered, then froze. I jumped in softly. "Sorry, could you say your name one more time?" One more time sounds kinder than again with names, and she smiled with relief.
Do you ever combine a repetition request with a quick summary? Like, "I heard the first 2 steps. Could you repeat the third? It shows you're listening, just missing a piece.
Absolutely. It's respectful and efficient. I used it during a workshop. I have step 1 and 2. What was step 3 again? The trainer appreciated the focus and repeated only the part I needed.
Small recap. Soften the tone, slow the pace, add please. Explain the reason if helpful, like connection issues, and mirror the key word. Phrases like, I didn't catch that. Would you mind repeating that? And one more time work wonders. Quick question, Emily. Any phrases to avoid? I've heard people say just, what? And the room freezes.
I avoid huh or a flat what. Alone, they can sound blunt. I soften it. Sorry, what was that? Sorry is a cushion word. It shows you respect the other person's effort.
Pronunciation-wise, I keep the words connected. Could you flows, and I lower my volume slightly so it doesn't feel like a challenge. A short pause before please adds calm.
And breath matters. I take a small breath, smile a little, then speak. The smile changes the sound of sorry. It becomes warmer, which makes repetition requests feel cooperative, not demanding.
Last thought from me. Pair the request with gratitude. Thanks for repeating. That tiny thank you closes the loop and keeps the conversation friendly, even under pressure.
Nice. So when the room is loud or the Wi-Fi is moody, a kind voice, a clear request, and a short thank you turn confusion into connection.
Shifting gears to meaning checks, I had a meeting where someone said, let's move the call up. I paused and asked, just to confirm, do you mean earlier today or later in the week? The room relaxed instantly.
I know that line. A client told me, let's push the launch back. I replied, so if I understand correctly, you want to delay until next month? Confirm means check if something is correct before acting.
When you paraphrase, Emily, what opener do you like most? I switch between, so you're saying, and, in other words, depending on how formal it feels.
I usually start with, if I understand you right, it's gentle. Then I restate the key idea. The budget covers design only, not printing. Paraphrase means saying the same idea in simpler words.
Email makes this harder. I got, ship the samples after QA. I wrote back, just to confirm, first QA on Friday, then shipping on Monday, correct? I listed the order to avoid misinterpretation.
Order words help. First, then, finally. I used them at a photo shoot. First lighting test, then product shots, finally team portraits. Did I get that right? The producer gave a thumbs up and we stayed on schedule.
Do you ever mirror a keyword, Emily? I repeat the exact term, like the mock-ups, right? Mirroring shows you heard the important piece.
Definitely. A manager said, keep it within scope. I mirrored, scope, only the homepage redesign, right? Scope means the limits of the work. He said yes, and we saved 2 days of extra edits.
Small tip I love. Confirm numbers twice. I ask 50 or 15. It prevents silent mistakes, especially on phone lines with background noise.
And tone matters. I keep my voice steady and end with a soft rise. Even a firm sentence like, we're meeting at 10, becomes a check with, we're meeting at 10? Said kindly.
Quick recap. Paraphrase the idea. Mirror keywords. Confirm order with first, then, finally, and check numbers clearly. These moves reduce stress and build trust fast.
Have you had a time when paraphrasing saved a project, Zach?
Yes. A designer heard update the logo and started a full redesign. I stepped in. In other words, we're adjusting the color only, right? Everyone laughed with relief, and we avoided days of extra work.
I've been there. At a hotel, I asked for a double and got one big bed. I confirmed, just to be clear, 2 separate beds? The receptionist switched us to a twin room in minutes.
I like how you used just to be clear. That phrase is friendly and direct. It tells people you want accuracy, not an argument.
Final thought before we move on. Don't fear the pause. A 2-second pause before you paraphrase shows care. It slows the pace and people feel respected while you confirm the meaning.
On that note, a polite correction story from Monday. In a meeting, someone said we'd shipped the final file. My stomach dropped because I knew it was a draft. I took a breath and said, I might be wrong, but I think the latest file is version 3, not final. Everyone stayed calm, and we fixed it in seconds.
I like how you used a hedge there. A hedge means soft language that reduces pressure. At a bakery, they wrote my colleague's name as Lena. I smiled and said, sorry, it's actually with an I. Lena. Easy mistake. The baker thanked me and rewrote it without any awkward feeling.
Do you keep the apology short, Emily? I've noticed a light, sorry, works like a cushion word. It protects feelings before the correction lands.
Exactly. I keep it brief and move to a solution. In a slide review, I said, sorry, could we switch to slide 7? It has the updated timeline. No blame, just direction. And the meeting moved on smoothly, Emily.
Another trick I love is using we, not you. In a deadline chat, I said, maybe we should double-check the date. I have Thursday in my notes. We makes it a team fix, not a finger point.
That reminds me of street directions. A neighbor told a visitor, Maple is this way. But it wasn't. I smiled and added, I might be mixing this up, but isn't Maple 2 blocks down? The visitor thanked me, and the neighbor nodded. No one felt embarrassed.
Tone matters as much as words. I lower my volume a bit, slow the pace, and end with a tiny rise. Right? That rising intonation? Intonation means the rise and fall of your voice. Invites a friendly correction. Do you ever give a reason to save face, Emily? When I add a why, people relax. Like, so we don't duplicate work, could we label this draft until Friday?
I do that with emails. For clarity, can we keep the subject line Q2 budget draft? For clarity, focuses on the goal, clear communication, not on who made a mistake, Zach.
Name corrections need extra care. At a conference, someone said, Lena. I smiled. Just so you know, it's Lena, long E. The person repeated it correctly and even wrote it down. Small, kind, done.
Quick vocabulary check. Softeners like maybe, a bit, I think, and I could be mistaken make corrections gentle. They signal openness, not attack.
Anything to avoid, Emily? I've heard sharp openings like, no, you're wrong, or a heavy, actually, and the room freezes.
I avoid those. I replace them with something like, I was looking at the Tuesday sheet. Mine shows 10 a.m. It states facts and invites a check without blaming anyone, Emily.
I like adding a tiny thank you. After correcting, I say, thanks for adjusting. Gratitude closes the loop and keeps goodwill strong.
Mini recap. Use a brief sorry as a cushion. Add softeners like, I might be wrong. Switch you to we. Give a helpful reason, and keep your tone warm with a small rise at the end.
Before we move on, one more gentle nudge I like. Offer the fix. Not just, that's off, but, could we try slide 7 instead? A clear path turns correction into teamwork. To bring this to life, 3 quick scenes. In the office stand-up, someone said, let's move the review up. My brain heard, later, not earlier. I took a breath. Just to confirm, do you mean earlier today, like 2 p.m.? Shoulders relaxed around the table.
Speaking of that, a manager told me, ship it today. I answered, if I understand you right, you want the final, not the draft? Draft means an early version. He said, final, yes, and I sent the correct file, not the rough one.
I've learned one more office move, Emily. Pin the key word. I said, review up, earlier, right? That tiny mirror of earlier made the meaning clear without debate.
And tone helped. I kept my voice warm and ended with a small rise, like a friendly question mark. That sound invites agreement, not argument, which is perfect in meetings, Zach.
Switching scenes to a cafe. It was loud. Espresso machine, music, chatter. I ordered iced latte, no syrup. The barista heard extra syrup. I smiled. Sorry, one more time. No syrup, please. Syrup is sweet flavor. She nodded and fixed it.
I had a payment mix-up. The screen flashed twice. I said, just to check, did the card charge once or twice? Charge means money taken from your card. The cashier checked the receipt and canceled the duplicate.
Another cafe trick. Give a reason to save face. I added, it's pretty noisy here. Thanks for repeating. That little reason stops blame and keeps the mood friendly.
Exactly. I also point to the menu item when I speak. The gesture plus the words makes the message clear, even with masks or ambient noise. Ambient means background sound, Zach.
Now to an online chat. A teammate wrote in the group channel, post the update in the thread. I replied, in other words, add it under the same message, right? Thread means a line of linked replies. I also wrote, just to confirm, 10 a.m. your time or mine? Time zones love to trick us. The answer came back with the city name, and we avoided a sleepy 5 a.m. mistake, Emily.
I like adding a quick thank you in chat. Got it. Thanks for clarifying. Clarify means make it clear. Those 4 words close the loop and keep the channel calm.
One more chat habit. I send a short summary. So far, draft shared, feedback due Friday, final on Monday. Correct? The checklist style stops confusion before it grows.
Quick recap, Zach. Office. Mirror the keyword and confirm time. Cafe. Repeat gently and explain the noise. Chat. Define the thread, confirm the clock, add a short thanks.
Right, and keep the voice soft, the words simple, and the reason brief. Those small moves turn messy moments into smooth ones, even when the coffee grinder screams.
Before we close this scene, one line I lean on. So we're on the same page, here's what I have. On the same page means sharing the same understanding. It's polite and practical in every place.
Circling back, the small moves really matter. Ask kindly for repetition. Check the meaning with a short paraphrase, and correct softly when something's off.
Exactly. One gentle sentence can save a meeting or a coffee order. Kind words plus a calm voice turn confusion into cooperation, Zach. Before we wrap up, what's your go-to line when things get fuzzy, Zach?
I lean on, sorry, the line cut out. Could you say that one more time? Thanks. Cut out means the audio stopped. The thanks keeps the mood friendly.
My favorite is, just to be clear, you mean the updated file from today, right? Just to be clear signals care, not challenge, Zach.
Quick story. On a crowded subway, the speaker buzzed. I echoed the key word. Uptown train, right? The guard nodded, pointed, and I caught the right platform.
I had a chat thread where tasks got tangled. I wrote, so far I have draft today, feedback Friday, final Monday. Does that match? Match means the same as your plan, Zach.
Tone tip I love. A soft rise at the end. Right? Invites correction without pressure. It sounds like an open door, not a wall.
And I add reasons to save face. For clarity, let's label this draft. For clarity means to make understanding easy, not to blame anyone, Zach.
Anything you avoid, especially when you're stressed, Emily?
I skip blunt words like what or wrong. I swap in, sorry, what was that? Or I might be mistaken, but softer words protect trust, Zach.
In a noisy cafe, my microscript is reason plus request plus thanks. It's loud on my side. Could you repeat the total? Thanks so much. Short, clear, kind.
Mini recap. Repeat kindly with a warm tone. Confirm meaning with a quick paraphrase. And correct gently with a cushion word like sorry or maybe.
Try one of those lines in your next chat or call. Confidence grows when you choose simple words and steady tone.
If this episode helped you untangle tricky moments, follow the show and share it with a friend who deals with noisy meetings or fast baristas, Zach.
Thanks for spending time with us today. Stay kind, stay clear, and we'll meet you in the next conversation.